Hello everyone, welcome to my video today about the current situation with sport. So we're going to start off with the AFL. So they have a drink driving issue firstly, which needs to be solved. So lots of clubs don't like alcohol at all, but I feel like banning alcohol completely and doing stupid things with alcohol, like having too much of it, or when you're driving in a car is crazy. But that problem, firstly, I mean, it's fine. I think, in my opinion, it's fine to have a beer or two during the week, but to have it within 48 hours of a game or break a drink driving law is stupid. Secondly, the mental health of players. This is the thing that's underreported by the media. So a lot of people are struggling from mental health issues, and now it's going to come and reflect back on the AFL because obviously the season's in big trouble, because AFL season is going to likely postpone till July 1 at the earliest, probably even longer, because look at how bad it is in all the other states. Like, the gatherings limit is a problem. I think they will be allowed to travel states probably by July 1. It will just be the issue with gatherings and stuff. And why would you play footy with no crowd? Like, there's just no point. Just to get some points through, but it's not really worth watching. I mean, it sort of is, but not really. But, yeah, that's the way it is. But if you look at it, they're going to have problems because the AFL suspended. They're mentally, especially the players who've been around for a long time, they're mentally used to it being, at that time, onto rugby union. And they cannot find a broadcaster for next year. The Australian Rugby Board are already in debt. Super Rugby is with a heavy delay due to the issue with international travel, which, unfortunately, I hate to say it, it may not even happen this year in Super Rugby. It may start up again. I don't know when the final is, like in August or something, or July. I don't know. It probably won't happen. Like, I think the T20 World Cup with cricket, which we'll talk about soon, will be in October. That'll be fine. Just the footy and the rugby union, big problems. And yeah, it's international Super Rugby. But I think this is where we need an Andrew Forrest or someone like that to start up some domestic tournament, because who's going to fund Rugby Australia? They're in heavy debt. They haven't got a broadcaster. I made another video on that. And now, problems. With cricket in general now, onto that, they cancelled till July 1 in England. Australian cricket misses out on 2 ODIs against New Zealand at home and a tour of New Zealand with 3 T20 nationals and a Bangladesh tour with 2 tests. The Sheffield Shield final was cancelled. The Australian tour of England between July 4 and 18, during those times, there'll be a lot of kids will be sad about this, especially in Australia, because that's the scheduled school holidays, are likely to get canned or hosted in Australia, maybe even New Zealand, because the ECB are being offered by the ACB and New Zealand Cricket Board to host their games, as some of their venues, such as Edgbaston, are being used for testing for the bad thing, which names shall not be mentioned. And adding on to this, the Australian Cricket Board and New Zealand Cricket Board, of course, they're assessing the system, what's going on day by day almost, England Cricket Board. It's really bad, this issue in England, but let's hope it gets through it. And I think an idea from the ECB, it's not a guarantee, it's just one of the ideas they have. Because the only problem really is sending people in from England to Australia. There are a lot of actual Australian people, Australian citizens, who live in England, and probably vice versa. So people will be travelling in and out and stuff. So of course people stuck in London on holiday decide to mock around Europe. They might work at a pub for a couple of years. Bam, you've got a few Australian tourists around. And that's what London's like. There's a lot of immigrants and stuff. And people are just on visas and stuff, and now this thing impacts it, and it's not very fun if you're having your holiday, and of course you're just working in pubs to get by travelling around Europe, and then on the weekends, bam, you go out to France, you go out to Holland, you go out to Germany, you go even further south to Italy or Croatia or Spain or Portugal, Switzerland. Switzerland's great. Poland, anywhere like that. Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark. I could go forever, but you get what I mean. And that's the other thing, because if they're doing that for Australian people, then they could bring the England cricket team with them on the plane, and that should be as long as they can provide England flights to Australia. But they need to have quarantine, so if they really want to host this series, they're going to have to quarantine if they host it in Australia, and vice versa if they host it in England, but it will be the players' healthy concerns for Australian players, because if the England players have it, well, who cares if they bring it to it? Well, they won't bring it to Australia because they get tested, and they might have to say something like, COVID can't play. Anyway, thanks for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's listen to this legend before I say goodbye. Also, quickly, check out the Coolboy Superhuman, Galactic Ice Wave, and AA Cricket and Analog Casual. Those 4 channels are epic. And also shout out to Deco333 and Tara Lordrain.
Please remember to like, favorite, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel.